What is going on, everybody? Wow. First call of 2021. For those of you who don't know me, I am John Marone. I am the conversion specialist here with CINC. Man, I just can't believe it's 2021 already. I mean, I don't know how many people are complaining about 2020. I can't wait to see people start complaining about 2021, right? So I want to talk about something really quick because I know it's a new year, right? We have all these new goals. And for anybody that's new to this, we always start off this call, by the way, with a little bit of a mindset shift before we start getting into the skill set shift. And so what I want to talk about very briefly and kind of go down this path is, look, nothing's going to change in 2021 if you don't change. Hear me again. Nothing is going to change in 2021 if you don't change. Think about that. We're waiting for all these outside circumstances to dictate our next move. Right? We're waiting for who to become president to go ahead and get better. Right? We're waiting for this to happen in order for that to happen. No. What needs to happen is this happens no matter what outside circumstances are happening. You sat down, you wrote down all these big goals for 2021, but did you sit down and make the commitment to yourself that no matter what the circumstances are, you will rise above what is going on outside of your control, and you will create the habits, the discipline to those habits, the values, the commitments to those values, and put the work in? Because there's no way that you're sitting here right now, and you can say with 100% confidence that you didn't make mistakes last year, right? That you didn't give in to the circumstances, because we all did. I don't think there's not one person that, at least for a moment of time, we lost control of what we can control. Let's sit back and let's take a step and let's look for 2021. Let's look at what we want, but most importantly, let's look at the little things we have to do to get what we want. Right? Those daily disciplines. Everybody on here, you're on here because you guys want to make phone calls and get better at it. Right? Right now, everybody on here wants to get better at conversion. You want to get better at having conversations. Would you agree? If you agree, in the chat, put yes if you agree that you're on here because you want to get better at conversions. You want to get better at talking to people. Here's what you need to learn. You can't get better at talking to other people until you get better at talking to yourself. The way you view yourself is the way you have conversations with other people. So you're sitting here and you want to learn how to convert better and have better conversations. Take a step back and have a better conversation with yourself. Stop giving in to the circumstances and outside of your control things from doing the little things. The phone is nothing to be afraid of, right? First off. So if you're on here right now and you're scared of the phone and picking up the phone, it's nothing to be afraid of, right? The person on the other end is a human. They bleed just like you. So we got to stop allowing these excuses to stop us from creating the results that we want. So I'm going to open this thing up here, but I just want you to remember 2021 will not change your outcome unless you change, right? Nothing changes if nothing changes. So wherever you're at right now in your life, realize that if you got 1% better today and you repeated that daily, your life in December at the end of this year would more than likely be a way better quality of life. Your results will be there. The income will be higher. The relationships will be there. Experiences will be there. And most importantly, you would have controlled what you can control. So let's rewind this back. You want to create the income and impact in 2021? You want to create better conversion? You want to have better conversations with people? It starts with having a better conversation with yourself, creating the results when nobody's watching, putting the work in when nobody's looking. Some of you guys are working at home right now, and this is a thing, man, because I see it all the time. People are like, I'm working from home, so, if I said I was going to make 100 dials, I only make 20. Nobody's watching, right? Nobody's there to hold your hand right now to say, you need to be making 100 dials. I'm standing over your shoulder. So it's very easy to give into the temptation of excuses, the temptation of outside circumstances. But that is the force of average trying to bring you back down to where you don't want to be. Don't allow that to happen in 2021. If anything this year, stay committed to the small things that open big opportunities, right? Small hinges that swing open big doors. Pay attention to those small things this year. They will compound into the big wins. So write down really quick. Let's just take 60 seconds. Write down all the small things that you want to stay committed to. Self-talk, waking up early, affirmations, gratitude. What are those small things that you're like, you really, 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 really want to stay committed to? Knowing that those things are going to create the side effect of income, because that's what it's about. Those things are the reasons you create the income you want. Stop worrying about how to make more money and worry about how to stay committed to those small habits that make you the more money, right? Stop worrying about how to make more money and start worrying about how to stay committed to the small things that makes you the money. Take 30 seconds. What are the small things you focus on this year that you say, no matter what, I'm staying committed to it? Go ahead, write that down. And then we'll end with this. We'll open this thing up for some Q&A, and we'll talk about some objection handling here. We'll get some people on to go ahead and role play. So 2021, let's make the change. Let's make the shift into focusing on those small things that make a big difference. That no matter who's president, that no matter what's going on with the pandemic, that you control what you can control. Because I promise you, you will not be as overwhelmed. You will not waste as much energy. You'll be a happier, more joyful person. And because of that, your confidence will go up, your results will go up. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Make the small changes that make the big difference this year, guys. You guys with me? If you're with me, let me hear a yes in the chat box. I want to make sure you guys are with me on this. If you're not, you can say no, by the way. I love it. Love it. All right. And once again, guys, my name is John Marone. If you guys need me outside of here, my Instagram is @RealJohn. So @RealJohn Marone is my Instagram. If you guys want to reach out to me, follow me on there. And you can slide into my DMs and we could chat. Also, really quick, is anybody on Clubhouse here? Is anybody on Clubhouse here? Man, I'm pretty addicted to it. There's a Brandon, you're trying to be? I got message me, Brandon. I got some extra invites. Hold on, check my microphone. 1 second. This thing said my microphone's messed up. No, we're good. All right. So download it yesterday. Yeah, you have to get an invite or whatnot. What is Clubhouse? Very short, brief answer is it's only for Apple users, but people are getting iPads just to be on it. It is a app that has rooms in it where you can go in and you could jump in a room where it's talking about wholesaling. You could jump in a room where it's talking about just real estate in general, or maybe it's talking about branding. Maybe it's just talking about prayer or women's empowerment, or there's endless opportunities of rooms that are going on in there. And you could jump in there and you could hear what they're talking about, jump up on quote unquote stage, right? And then you can ask questions. So I run a few rooms in there as well, and they're moderators is what we're called. And you jump up in there and and people ask questions and you answer them. So there's a list of speakers per se, and then you jump in, Let's see. I don't know why my mic keeps going in and out. Hold on. There we go. All right. So anyway, so you jump into the room and you ask the questions. And once again, it's all different types. And you can start your own room. So maybe you're in Atlanta and you're like, man, I just want to connect with a bunch of real estate agents in Atlanta. You can go ahead and start a room that says Atlanta real estate agents only. I've made such great connections on there. It's phenomenal because it cuts through all the noise. On Instagram and Facebook, you got to worry about the algorithm. Not on Clubhouse, not yet at least. And so I've made great connections on there, met some phenomenal people. People on my podcast are going to be coming on, which is the Power of Progression. If you guys are on podcasts, Power of Progression. But most importantly, there's gold that is in there. And I kind of have it as background music. Let's see, why only for Apple users? Honestly, Betty, I have no idea. The app is called Clubhouse. Yeah, it's cool. Someone asked for my, it's in beta right now. Someone asked for my Instagram, it's at Real John Marone. I'll put it in here so you guys could see it, and we'll dive in here. But yeah, so Clubhouse, I'm gonna throw it out there because it's a great opportunity for us to grow as businessmen and women, as well as just individuals, as fathers, as mothers. It's really, really, really good opportunity for you guys to get in there and cut through the noise and get some answers to some of your questions, or start your own room and answer questions for other people. I'd like a Clubhouse invite. So I got like 2 left. So just reach out to me. I'll see what I could do. But what I would do too is there's people that are on there that you can go ahead and go into like Facebook groups and see if anybody has any. All right, perfect. So let's dive in here. What group do you run in Clubhouse? There's a bunch. I don't run any groups. I run rooms. So there's a bunch of rooms. If you just follow me, it's the same thing on, by the way, on Clubhouse. At Real John Marone on Clubhouse is the same on my Instagram. If you follow me, anytime I run a room, you'll go ahead and you'll get notified to jump in. Like tomorrow morning, I'm running a room called How to Create Infectious Energy That Cultivates Success. So if you were to follow me, you'd go ahead and you'd get an update, right? And there's people on there like, Lewis Howes, which is a phenomenal influencer, thought leader. Then you have, some rappers on there, and you have some actors and actresses on there, and they're running rooms as well for personal development, business, and some are just funny. All right. It's enough about Clubhouse. They did not pay me to promote that. But yeah, at Real John Marone on Instagram and Clubhouse. Follow me. Love to connect with you guys there. So, and it's only for Apple users. So let's dive in today, guys. I want to know, look, we're in 2021. You guys hopefully have picked up the momentum in dialing. Some of you guys maybe have put your foot on the brakes at the end of last year, which I highly advise against coming in 2021. It's foot on the gas pedal. It's go time. Where are you struggling, right? Like, what is the obstacle or objection you're struggling with? On these calls, we don't talk about just objections in scripting, because sometimes the obstacle is like just picking up the phone. You know what I mean? Sometimes the obstacle is like not having the energy. Sometimes the obstacle is up here, someone just role playing. I'm a big believer in this phrase, and write this down, guys. If you want to increase your pay, increase your role play. Some of you guys probably heard me say it before. If you want to increase your pay, increase your role play. Another thing for anybody that leads a team, if you want to increase their productivity, increase the accountability. If you want to increase their productivity, increase the accountability. Even for your own self, right? Like if you I'm procrastinating on things, if you find an accountability group, a coaching group, or whatever that might be that holds you accountable, it'll increase your productivity. So rule of thumb, increase your accountability, increase your productivity. So role playing needs to be a must. If for any scripts that we give you or anybody gives you, if you are not role playing 3 days a week, 20 minutes a day minimum, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. I always revert it back to sports, right? Think about it. Some of you guys have kids in here. If you don't, imagine if you had a kid, right? So little Johnny comes up to you and, Mommy, Daddy, I'm going to play football. Would you ever tell little Johnny, yeah, go ahead and just show up on game day, son, and crush it? Right? With little Johnny just to show up on game day? Absolutely not. You're going to tell him you got to practice. You got to put the work in, right? And you got to practice some more and put the work in some more. And hopefully by then you could have the opportunity to play. That's what you would tell little Johnny. But yet you, who are handling the biggest transaction of somebody's life, aren't willing to role play, aren't willing to practice. You need reps. You have to create reps for your conversion. Once a week's not enough, guys. If you're just jumping on this call once every 2 weeks, it is not enough. I can't help you that much if you're only taking this stuff, doing it today, and then not coming back to it. This has to be a constant thing that you're working on, no matter how many sales you have. People are like, oh, John, but I'm crushing it. I'm so busy. Well, what if you could uptick your conversion 10%? What would that mean for your income? So whether you're crushing it or you're not crushing it, role playing is a non-negotiable. It's a standard you live by. It is something that you do no matter what. All right. Let's see. Krista says, isn't terribly complicated, unsurmountable, but the most common this time of year is just looking. They've been all over the site or just browsing. So I'll give you the opening line that I use. So real quick, our conversion day, if anybody's ever been there, we've created a conversion day for Commissions Inc. And our contact to appointment set is 33%. 33%. So what we're about to give you guys, this opening line is a huge component to that 33%, which we have an event here in Atlanta, or not here, I'm in Destin. They're in Atlanta this week. We have Phoenix in February, which I think both events are sold out. And I'll give you guys the site here in a minute, but we have conversion days that are selling out across the country right now. So the opening line goes as follows. Shout out Destin. Woo woo. He goes, hey, this is John with the home search site. I know you're looking over some homes in Destin. Just curious, you looking to make a move right now? Right? Or are you looking to make a move in the next few months? Or are you just browsing? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share something with you guys. I'm going to share my screen just because I know we got some people who are more visual learners, as am I. So to pull up my screen here, I just got to get it going. Give me a second, guys. Okay. All right, so as I pull this up, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give you guys the opening line. I know we've done this multiple times on here, so but it's always a good refresher for anybody, even if you know the opening line. Where's she at? Here we go. Okay, so if you guys look at the screen, here's the opening line. There's little things we do in here that are so important to why this works so well and why we get a 33% conversion rate. But hey, this is John with the home search site. I know you're looking over in Dallas at some homes. Just curious, you're looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? We give them the just browsing, just looking excuse right away because we know that's more than likely what they're going to say. And because we know that that's what they're going to say, they feel like they aren't going to be sold. Their wall comes down, and now we have a direct line to build rapport, right? Direct line to build rapport. Oh, I'm just browsing. Perfect. Exactly what the site is for. So while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? But I don't want you guys to get this twisted because what's prompting you to browse is a way different question than what are you browsing for? I'll repeat that because I've heard this a lot. I said it. I said, what are you browsing for? Totally different. What's prompting you to browse is a why question, right? That's wrapped around a what word. What's prompting you to browse is the why question. That's what you want. Rather, you don't want to say is, well, I have you. What are you browsing for? I'm going to say, I don't know, a house, right? I'm not sure, man. I'm just looking. When I say what's prompting you to browse, I'm going to say, well, we're outgrowing our home. We're trying to downsize. I just got relocation for our job. This opening line works so well. Now, a few things in here. I don't say their name. Okay. Don't say their name. Don't say, how are you doing? I say homes, not houses. Homes bring an emotional connection to a buyer. That's why I want to say homes for a buyer, houses for a seller. I don't say, are you looking to buy? We say, are you looking to make a move? Buying is a fear word. Okay, make a move. Next is, I say 3 to 6 months, or you could say few months. Sometimes 3 to 6 just has, it's a little bit of a mouthful. So you could say, you're looking to make a move in the next few months, or are you just browsing? This opening line helps get rid of that just looking or just browsing. You give it to them. Therefore, they think they're going to get off the phone, but more likely they feel like they're not going to be sold, but their wall goes down. You can't build rapport with somebody when their wall is up. This allows the opportunity. Does that make sense, guys? Who knows? Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Perfect. Okay, so we got a few more things in here. I'm just looking through some of the questions. Let's see. I go 24/7, and I have planned a break with an agent helping, but it's hard to stop. My man Kevin Jones in the house. Yeah, Kevin. If you're on Clubhouse, definitely jump on that infectious energy because we're gonna be talking about this, guys. You got to create these things that prevent you from burnout. You have to. I know it's hard to stop, but you got to do these little things that prevent burnout. I don't want you going 24/7, especially if you have a family. If not, it's a little bit easier. But you got to create these breaks throughout your month because otherwise you will burn out and your energy will show it. And when your energy shows it, it reflects on your sales. It reflects. And even if you're doing well, right? Like it's okay to pull back. I actually threw away a sign I had in here. I had a sign in my office that said, every day I'm hustling. It said, every day I'm hustling. It was like a little plaque. I threw it out. right? Like quality of life is not every day I'm hustling, right? I'm hustling when I need to hustle. You know what I mean? So, brother, take the time to pull back. Take the time to pull back, man. There are the moments where, yes, we got to go all in and go, 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 but create intentional moments where you pull back and create the quality of life that you want to. I already know you're crushing it anyway, Kevin. So give yourself some grace. My challenge is memorizing scripts so I can internalize them and make them my own. What's going on, Ty? Look, man, to memorize a script, you just got to get really good at remembering to practice it first. So if you want to memorize something, you have to just start getting into the routine of every morning practicing it. And here's a tip, guys. I want you to do deep work. Now, what is deep work? Deep work is not doing the entire script at once. Deep work is do the opening line every day for 10 minutes. Do that for 2 weeks. Do one objection every day for the entire week and do that, right? Do the 3 whys for every what. You guys know I'm huge component of that. 3 whys for every what. Do that every day. And then you put it all together. It's almost like baseball, right? Go back to a sports analysis, right? Or reference. If I see that your swing is off in baseball, I'm not going to go ahead and just say, okay, switch this. I'm going to say, hey, go ahead and pick up the bat. Let me see how you're holding it. All right, put it down. Pick it up again. Okay, put it down. Pick it up again. All right. Now let's go ahead and let's throw a pitch. Now as the pitch is coming, I want to see where your foot goes. Do it again. Don't swing. Do it again. Do it again. See where your foot goes. See where your hips go. See where your eyes go. See where your shoulders go. See where your elbows go. All right, now swing, swing, swing. It's that deep work, right? It's taking every little piece of that swing and breaking it down to see where the holes are so we can get really good and masterful about it. So we don't have to think about it. We just do it. So memorize the script, man. The way I break it down is opening line, 3 whys for every what, closing. Those are 3 levels. Opening line, 3 whys for every what, close. So hopefully that helped. Let's see. Perfect. I love this. Thank you, Katrina. Appreciate it. Why don't you say their name in opening line? Amy, great question. 2 reasons. One is, actually, there's probably about 3 reasons. One is nowadays when you say, Chris, it could be a guy or a girl, right? Stacy, guy or girl. So you don't want to put that out there. 2 is that when you say their name, there's a 50-50 chance they're going to say it's not them. Remember, they don't know you. If they think and know you're a real estate agent, they probably don't trust you, unfortunately. And so they're going to find a way to go ahead and create an excuse. When a human mind feels fear, it subconsciously, that means with very little energy, will create an excuse. So here's the way it looks. Nervousness, fear, whatever it is, pops up. And all of a sudden, it rings into your nervous system. Your nervous system sends a reaction to your brain. Your brain then sends a reaction to basically your mouth of saying an excuse, right? So fear into the body, right? Nervous system sends a reaction to your brain, and your brain creates an excuse to keep you safe. An excuse to keep you safe because, go back to the beginning, you felt fear. So I don't want to say their name because of that. It's a 50-50 chance. All right, what else we got here? Can we get access to that PowerPoint or that page? Kathy, if you've been to a conversion day, you get all the scripts. So if you've been to a conversion day, then you get all the scripts. Once again, cincommunity.com/CINCU. Or if you just go to cincommunity.com, you'll see all the conversion days. Get your butt to a conversion day, guys. We sell out very quick now because of the limited seating, because of the situation. Why homes for buyers and houses for seller? Great question. So homes creates an emotional connection to the mind, right? It brings an emotion when you hear home. Houses doesn't. So I'm trying to bring an emotion to a buyer, and I'm trying to disconnect an emotion from a seller. So houses disconnects emotion. I'm going to make that for a seller, and homes brings an emotion for a buyer. Does that help? Does that make sense? What if they say I just got on the site and I need time to look? Mike asked that question. Good question. So then I ask an A/B question. Guys, this is super important. It's a great question. They say, no, I just got on the site and I just need some time to look. Perfect. What's prompting you to look? If they still say, no, I really don't know. Say, all right, how about this? I want to make sure that, we got everything set up for you correctly. What are you thinking? 3 or 4 bedrooms? Probably 4. Interesting. Okay, while I put this in here, why is 4 bedrooms important to you? So you A/B question them. A/B question. Let's see what else we got here. Just scrolling down some questions here on the chat, and I'll go to Q&A. Great energy in the morning, but it goes down after 2 for being on the phone. How do you get your energy up for calls? Tammy, great question. First off, so you're on the calls in the morning, I would assume, right? From being on the phone. I would do the most dollar producing activities that need energy in the morning. Now, if you have 2 different time slots, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, totally get it. But you want to create the most amount of dollar producing activities that creates energy, or that you need energy for, in the morning. And small things you could do throughout the day is like create clarity breaks, 3 15-minute clarity breaks a day, where you're stepping away from your computer, every electronic, and just grounding yourself and rebooting your energy. Number 2 is making sure you're drinking a ton of water. You're not eating like crap, right? Ton of water, not eating like crap. Also, know why you're making these dials, why you need to get your energy up. So hopefully that helps, Tammy. I think there's a lot of people need this question answered. A, make your dials in the morning, use your highest dollar activities, have the most energy. So boom. But if you are dialing at night as well, then clarity breaks throughout your day. 3 of them, 15-minute breaks. Next is influx of water. Make sure you're not eating a ton of carbs. Make sure you're eating well. Just like how we feed our mind the right things, right? The right nutritions, basically, in order to cultivate the clarity or focus or energy. We got to do the same for our stomach. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. Would you go over 3 whys for each? What? Brandon says coffee. Yeah, I'll tell you what I do. Mio Energy. That's what I use. Usually right before I go on stage and speak or anything like that, I use Mio Energy. Just something I like. I was doing Red Bull for a bit, but Mio Energy is a little bit cleaner. Alani Nu is something my wife and I have been drinking a little bit lately. They're just low carb or no carb caffeine drinks. But if you want to do it naturally, do it the other way. Would you go over 3 whys each for 3 whys for each what? Yeah, I'll pop up my screen again, because this is, if you haven't been on this call before, this is really the meat and potatoes of the script and why it works so well. So take a look at what's on my screen. Okay. So if you see here, every time somebody says what they want, like a 3-bedroom or 2-bath or large backyard, we're going to try to break it down and try to dive deep into the reason behind it. For example, I need 4 bedrooms. Interesting. Tell me why 4 bedrooms. They tell you, here's the goal. Please don't miss out on this part. When they tell me, I'm listening to understand. I'm not listening to respond. So I hear them. I extract information. I build a conversation that creates rapport. And I come back in and I ask another why question for that same what. Go something like this. I'm thinking about 4 bedrooms. Perfect. So why is 4 bedrooms so important for you? Man, I got, we have 3 kids right now, another one on the way. And so we just definitely need to have enough space for everybody to have their own room. Man, that's amazing. Another baby on the way. How soon? 6 months. How exciting. So you see you have 3 kids as well. What are the ages, and boys or girls? Oh, they're, 3, 6, and 10, and they're all girls. Oh, I don't, do you know if the next baby is going to be a girl? No, it's going to be a boy. Oh, I bet you're excited about that. Right. So I'm building conversation, and I go back, and instead of saying, oh, how many bathrooms? I say, so what would that do for you to have 4 bedrooms? Right. Or tell me about your current situation. So every time we want to get really clear, guys, we want to stay in the lane. Stay in the lane, stay in the lane, stay in the lane. That means every time you ask a what question, dive deep into I and stay there. I'll leave it a second. Okay. How do you create urgency on clients? Urgency is created by first them knowing that you have value. You can't create urgency on a client if they don't like you, trust you, or you have any value. So first off, where's your value? Well, how do I have value, John? I ask good questions, right? That dive deep into that true pain, that true pleasure. So urgency doesn't matter if there's no value. So make sure you're adding enough value, and then you create urgency by just making sure you get in front of them. There doesn't necessarily need to be that big sense of urgency by you creating it. They're going to create it, and they create it by you getting in front of them. And the way you do that is you solve their problem, right? So let's kind of backtrack. Urgency is useless without value. You create value by solving their problem. You solve their problem by asking better questions. Okay, so let's go forward. Ask better questions to find out their problem. You create the solution. That solution is so important because the problem is so big, the urgency creates itself. Does that make sense? Is it better to call in the morning or in the afternoon? Both, right? Like we don't know what we don't know. So you want to make sure you have 2 call times. And if you could only do one, I would track the mornings. That's usually where we have our most energy. Started tracking my water. I am dialing as a follow-up as usual. And yes, I have cleared up my diet. Awesome. After a call, an agreement from contact to build a refined search, what is the best system to follow up to create? Yeah, so here's what I would do, Jill, and this is for anybody. If you guys find yourself saying, I'll change your search more often than not, you're not closing. You're not doing a good job at closing. I've walked around rooms of hundreds and hundreds, thousands actually, because I've trained 7,000 agents, just with CINC itself. And I hear that a lot where it's like, oh, I'll change your search. If you see something, let me know. No. The next step is to get face-to-face, is to get on a Zoom call. There has to be a next step of communication, a next step of, appointment or whatever that looks like. So after a call, an agreement from contact to build a refined search, still get in front of them. But if they are really waiting, the best way to follow up, A, handwritten note, always. B, send them a drip campaign or whatever it might be on whatever problem you're solving for them. And then call them and cut their if they, hey, I'm going to wait 3 months, cut it down in half and half again. So if they say they want 3 months, cut it down in half. So that's going to be, let's say 6 weeks, cut it down in half again, call them in 3 weeks. And you keep that routine. But CINC does a great job for you as far as navigating through like the reminders and P1, P2s. What do you say to a buyer? My man, Nathan, what's up, brother? What do you say to a buyer who's adamant to talk to the listing agent and tries to get 1% of the buyer's commission towards his closing cost and save the other 2% of buyer's side commission by representing both sides? So the way I do it is do the whole analogy, right? So the analogy looks like this for a listing agent. So Nathan, I'll kind of use your name obviously here since you asked the question. So Nathan, I totally get it, but I got to ask you a question. It's a silly question, but I got to ask you. If you were to get divorced, would you use your partner's attorney or your own? Well, I'd use my own, John. Okay, another silly question, but why would you use your own? Well, because my partner's attorney is going to have their best interest at hand. Well, that's exactly what happens, Nathan, in a real estate transaction. Their client is going to be the person that they're trying to have their back in their best interest. So yes, most people feel that they can go to a listing agent, but what they found, what they found is that they're paying a higher price point for the home because that listing agent has their client's back more than they have yours. Does that make sense? Ending it with that, does that make sense? And if they're adamant still, no, I want to talk to a listing agent, then dude, next, move on to the next person. But try that rebuttal. It'll work. Even 40% of the time, watch what happens. Miss Stephanie Deeds, what's going on? Hey, John, I got the whole team listening together today. When you are trying to re-engage leads who have not been on the site for several months, are you using the same opening script? Absolutely, guys. Great question. Stephanie Deeds over in DFW. Yeah. So this script, a real cool thing is simplicity creates success. And this script is used for any buyer online lead that you get, right? Now, if you've talked to them before and it's like a real follow-up, not like obviously something that's way out, then yeah, we don't want to use this script if it's an actual follow-up. But if you haven't talked to them in months or years, and it's you're calling, maybe it's not even your lead, it was somebody else's. Yeah, absolutely. Now, if it's somebody you've had a deep conversation with, well, that's a little bit different story, right? Like if you talked to me, Stephanie, 8 months ago, and it was a very quick conversation, there's really no notes, then yeah, same thing. But if you talked to me 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and we've had a conversation, then it's a different situation. A follow-up script to that is way different because they know you, right? Because they know you. But if there's no real conversation that was had and it's months later, keep the same script. Dig in. The appointment is easy after that. My man, Kevin Jones. Absolutely. What do you say to somebody who is adamant that they don't want to do anything until they save a certain amount of money? Yeah. So I would just ask, interesting. Okay. So how much money do you feel like you need to save? Right. And I always answering that with a question because they don't know what they don't know. Hey, John, if I were to show you some possible programs that can get you less money down to get you the home that you want, would you be interested in hearing more about that? I'll repeat that, right? Hey, John, if I were to, I totally get it, but if I were to be able to show you some opportunities to get you less money down for the home that you want, would you want to hear more about that? They're going to say yes. And if they don't, then they're probably just blowing you off. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. Jennifer, I have a client that wants to move in by March. The wife loves the house and wants to write the offer. Her husband says no, keeps saying it's not the right place for us, but it meets the criteria. Then he says it needs to give him a feeling. Suggestions? Ask him what feeling. Ask him what feeling. Just get clear. At that point, Jennifer, I would slow it down. It's for anybody too listening. Slow down the process. I know we're always trying to speed things up. Slow it down. So husband, I get it. You feel like it's not meeting your needs. Wife, you love it. Tell me more about what feeling you're trying to go after. Because maybe we can create and cultivate that feeling through different type of things we could do to the home, right? Some kind of furniture or painting, whatever it might be. One thing you don't want to do is force them into buying, but if you can get clarity on what that feeling is, then you can have a little bit better of a conversation with them. And that's the easiest thing to do, and they are playing good cop, bad cop, maybe. Right. And it may not be up to you to sell him. The wife should be selling him. So if the wife's not selling him, there's a chance it could be good cop, bad cop. They're playing on you. But I would slow it down. Just slow it down and be like, what's that feeling? Right. Tell me more about that. What else? Get really curious about that. So then you could cultivate or create that the next home you guys see. Brandon, what is the threshold for getting in front of them? If they are moving within X, I'm retiring in 2 years. All right, great question. So when should I be getting in front of them, even if it's 2 years out? Say if I'm 2 years out, response is always perfect. This is actually when people start looking. 12 months out, perfect. It's exactly when people start looking. I'm always reinforcing that they're doing the right thing. Then it's like, hey, I know you're not looking to buy for 2 years, but what I want to happen is I want to make sure that you got the right person with the right strategy when the time is right. I'll repeat that, guys. I know you're not looking to buy in the next 2 years, but what I want to do is I want to make sure that you got the right person with the right strategy for the right time. So the next step is just jump on a quick Zoom call or face-to-face, whatever you guys are doing. So we can go over our win strategy on how to go ahead and get the home of your dreams, or whatever you want to call it, right? We call it the win strategy. But so we can get you the strategy. So when that time does come, you're clear on that you got the right person. You're clear that you got the right strategy. And so the coolest part about all this is that if that perfect home comes on the market and you got the right person with the right strategy in the corner, you at least have the opportunity to look at it with complete confidence. Is that fair? Is that fair? Does that make sense? Does that sound good? Wouldn't you agree? Those are words that you need to be putting into the statements that you guys are saying. They are game changers. It will increase your conversion tremendously. Let's see what else we got here. Love the divorce analogy. Thank you. Yeah, it works. People get awkward asking it, but if you get awkward asking it, you just kind of bring out that you're awkward about asking it. Right? Like, what's the harm? Hey, look, I know it's kind of weird. It's silly for me to ask this, but bring that out. You said handwritten note. Do you ask all the leads for their mailing address? Yeah, so you guys should be sending handwritten notes to anybody you work with or even an appointment you have coming up, right? So if Krista and I have a meeting on Friday and today's Monday, I want to ask for her address so I could send a handwritten note to her house so that this way it just brings the opportunity for them to show up and the chances for them to show up to a whole new level. To a whole new level. And it's just a very quick, simple note. Hey, Krista, I hope you and your husband have a great dinner. Something that we talked about, right? Got to bring it relative and comparable to something that you guys had spoken about. I'm excited to meet with you on Friday at 2:00. I'll see you then. Let's see. Jennifer says, when I ask how he would feel if it's no longer available, same response. There'll be another. No, so I want to ask like how he would feel about when it's not available. I'd ask, you said it doesn't bring you a feeling. Feel me, bring you a feeling. Tell me more about that. What does that look like? Right? What does that look like? Tell me more about the feeling you're trying to create. Because as a person that's in your corner, I want to go ahead and try to match the home that you're looking for and kind of feeling you're trying to create. Yeah, we don't know. Maybe there's just openness he wants, or maybe there's a type of exterior that he wants, or neighborhood. Debbie says, how do you get them to agree to a Zoom call? That's the close, right? That's the close. So it's just, hey, look, the next step in the process is jump on a quick, easy Zoom call. So you could see our strategy, right? So you can see our strategy, our smart home buying strategy, whatever it is, Debbie, that you guys have at your office, but it's the close. Now, if you're meeting them face to face, that's the same thing. You have to go for the close. How do you get them to agree to a Zoom call? You add value. How do you add value? You ask questions that help them unpack what the true problem is that they're trying to solve. Megan says, can you repeat your couple game changer responses? Yeah, so they're not responses, they're more endings. So it's, wouldn't you agree? Right. Sound fair. Make sense. Sound good. Those are like what we call small yes transitional questions. Can you repeat the right person script? Yeah. So what Brandon's asking is, if someone says they're really far out, can you repeat, like, how do you close that out? Yeah. So it goes something like this, Brandon. No, I totally get it. But what I want to make sure is that you got the right person. I want you to slow it down when you say it too. Get the right person, right strategy for the right time. Does that make sense? No, I totally get it. Perfect. And look, the best thing is once you figure out if I am the right person with the right strategy, if something came on the market that checked off all your boxes, right? Checked off all your boxes, then you'll have the opportunity to take a look at it with the right person and the right strategy. But now, Brandon, I want to make sure I know what all those boxes are you're trying to check off. So let's talk about it. What are you thinking? 3 or 4 bedroom? Okay. Hopefully that helped, brother. Let's see. I have many leads, but none interested to buy. Most of them unsubscribed on everything. So what should I do? So one thing is like there's so much gold in unsubscribed. You can still call them. I would 1000% be calling your unsubscribed. I have many leads not interested to buy. That doesn't mean anything to me, to be honest, just because when someone says not interested, it's 94% of the answer of the responses. So it's how you respond to how they're saying not interested to buy. That's what matters, right? That's what matters. So what do you need to do? The how to develop confidence is your name. I love it. Is develop confidence, right? And you do that by practicing, create conviction behind the script by knowing what you're saying, and use the opening line I gave you. Give them the opportunity to say just looking, right? Or just browsing. When they say you have the wrong number, oh, just like, okay, perfect. So I'm just curious. Looks like here we also have the email john@gmail.com. You're just looking at some homes. Was that you? Were you just looking? Right? I gave it to him. Were you just looking? Oh yeah, that was me. I was just looking. Okay, interesting. What had you looking? Oh man, I was just browsing around. Okay, cool. Can you tell me about your current situation? See if there's any way I can help you. And sometimes it is the wrong number, right? Heck, I've had people that it was the wrong number and they still sold them. Like I've had that happen a lot. I'm going to come down to the Q&A because I got a bunch over here too. So once again, guys, if you need me, we're still got about 10 minutes left, but if you need me, definitely reach out to me. Instagram's the easiest way. It's at Real John Marrone, Marrone. Slide into my DMs. We could chat. Any way I could help you overcome a challenge that you're having or just kind of guide you. Definitely let me know. If you're on Clubhouse, same thing. And then for conversion day, look, you guys need to be getting conversion day. It's not a I should, it's a I must. It's an I must. Well, there's a lot of good stuff over here. Okay. So let's see. How do you overcome the fear of rejection? That's a question that we can go so deep into. This is what I'm gonna do for you, Mark. It's just fear in general. I want you to send me a message on Instagram. I'm gonna send you a video I did. That's for anybody. If you have this fear, just like fear, right? Like fear of whether it's rejection, fear of failure, whatever it is, send me a DM. I will send you a video I did on that probably about 2 months ago. It's going to be the easiest thing to do because it's way deeper than what time we have now. And then it's going to take repetitive new habits and new patterns and new beliefs to start to change that. So Mark, if you send me a message or anybody sends me a message on Instagram, I'll go ahead and send you the link to the video. Let's see. Okay, working with another realtor. So I like this question. So if you're working with another agent, I would simply say, okay, perfect. Hey, if I were to find you some off-market properties that checked off all of those boxes, would you want me to send that to you? And they're going to say yes. All right, awesome. I don't want to send you useless emails. I know we definitely get enough of those. So tell me, what are those boxes that you're trying to cut off, that you're trying to check off? 3 or 4 bedroom. I'll say it one more time, just so you guys could hear it again. So I'm working with an agent. All right, perfect. Hey, look, if I were to find some things that weren't on the market yet, weren't on MLS, that checked off all of your boxes, would you want me to send them to you? Well, yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, I don't want to send you useless emails. I know we both get enough of them, right? Bring humor in. Just curious, what are those boxes we're trying to check off? What are you thinking, like 3 or 4 bedroom? 4. And I dive right into the why. And what's going to happen is you're going to do the same exact scripts. You can go in there. You're going to what we call finesse them. And one of 2 things will happen. You'll set an appointment with them because they're not really working with an agent because more than likely it's not real. Or you're not going to set an appointment with them because they are working with an agent. And the moment their agent drops the ball, like 80% of agents do, they're going to remember the person that truly, truly asked the right questions. And that's going to be you. Because 86% of home buyers do not think their agent understands their problem, which means there's a very good chance, even if they are working with somebody, their agent's going to drop the ball or their agent doesn't understand their problem. And now that they're aware of the different type of agents out there, because you are asking the right questions, their subconscious mind, as well as their just extreme awareness, will be finding a way to leave that agent to work with you. They will find a way so it's not like they feel bad because they're going to say they dropped the ball. They will find a way. Right? If you're looking for a problem, you're going to find one. If you're looking for, you're going to find one. So if you really build massive value, massive rapport, even if they are working with somebody and they really want to work with you, they'll find a problem with their other agent more than likely. Let's see. Just scrolling through here, guys. There are several Clubhouse apps. Someone said it's like a guy with, I think he's got a, let's see. It's only on Apple once again. What's the app look like? He's got a guitar in his hand. He's got a little afro going on and then a guitar in his hand. That's the app. Let's see. Even after asking a question of what's prompting you to browse, what if the person states, hey, I'm not interested or I'm busy right now. Is there a follow-up? So that's where I would say, okay, excellent. So just while I have you, what are you looking at? 3 or 4 bedroom? A, B question, A, B question, A, B question. And then you stay there and jump right back into the script. Why not say you're a realtor? Because they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you as a realtor. Just the facts. Like they think of real estate agents as low on the totem pole as used car salesmen. And so because of that, we have to be conscious of not bringing out that we're an agent right away. They know you are, but just that word itself, they get fear of buying, of that they're going to get sold, right? I always say people love to buy, but they hate to be sold. People love to buy, but they hate to be sold. So if they hear that you're an agent right out the gate, you're not going to allow the opportunity to build true rapport. Let's see. Can I get your Instagram account? Yeah. So it's Real John Marrone. And so it's JOHNMARRONE. So it's Real, REAL, John Marrone. All right, guys, we have about less than 5 minutes left. What I want to know is, have you guys gotten value today? And if so, let me see some of the value that you guys got, right? I want to see some of the value that you guys got. So put it into the chat. What are some of the things that you took away from today's call? Let's see. I love seeing this. Just I want to see what's really hitting home. Clubhouse. Where can we access your podcast? Yeah, so it's called Power of Progression. Power of Progression. Check out the podcast, and that's on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. So once again, someone asked me my podcast, Power of Progression. Don't say your agent right away. Absolutely practice. Let's see. Setting the Zoom appointment earlier than waiting until they're closer. I'm telling you, that's going to be a game changer for you. The intro, right person with the right strategy for the right time. Yep. Make the connections with people and taking time. Yes. Everything. Love it. Just do it, damn it. Yes, Lisa. The divorce analogy. I really enjoyed the comparison that with the divorce lawyers. Yep. Closing, right questions. Let's see the correct words to use. Small hinges swing open big doors. Love that analogy. And the reminder that nothing changes, nothing changes. That's right, Stephanie. And I'll see you in March, by the way, for our mastermind. If anybody's interested in our CINC mastermind on Instagram, reach out to me. We'll talk about what it looks like to qualify for our CINC mastermind, where we get together for 2 days with some of the best and brightest in the industry that are utilizing CINC to grow our business. 3 watts for what? Looking, yes. I love it, guys. Need reps. Practice. AB questions. How many times? Role play. You guys are amazing. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, guys, to jump in here and truly being here, right? And the reason why I ask you guys to share some of your takeaways is because other people need to see it. And I also want to know what's landing for you guys. Right? What is landing? So if you need me, once again, reach out to me on Instagram at Real John Marrone. If you need anything, you could also, where can these CINC conversion trainings be recorded? So if you want the recording of this, by the way, like this call, hit up your success partner. We're in the middle of like making some changes as far as where we're hosting these things. So hit up your account manager, your success partner, and they'll be able to get you that. Okay. But other than that, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Reach out to me once again on Instagram. If you want to come to a conversion day, which I don't just suggest, I challenge and I urge you guys to, go to cincommunity.com and check it out. Find a date and a location that works for you. Sign up. It will sell out. We're already sold out for January and I think February. But other than that, guys, take what we learned today, create the implementation of the information, go crush it. And please, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to help you guys and guide you guys wherever you guys need to go. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And until next time, go ahead and make an impact, not just for you, but for the people around you. Talk to you soon.